What's up, y'all? This is the One Nation Podcast 864. What's going on with y'all tonight, man? I'm in here chilling, sipping, and we're gonna talk to the older group tonight. We're gonna talk to the fellas, and we're gonna talk to the women. All right. So, with that being said, how y'all doing tonight, man? I'm feeling good. Had a very successful day. If you can see, I'm kind of being able to bend this a little bit more. Can't bend it like this one, but I'm gonna get back to it. You know, this leg thing has been crazy, but that's a whole nother topic. But tonight I wanted to tap in with the fellas and the ladies out there in the world. And I'm gonna jump around, but I'm gonna stick to like the basic topic, okay? So the basic topic, like I said, is for the fellas and the ladies. And, you know, it's called understanding. And it boils down to understanding yourself as well as understanding each other, okay? So I'm going to sip a little bit with this because I need a drink when I get to this. But we're gonna talk about it. All right. So, fellas, ladies, fellas, what does it mean to understand a man, ladies? And fellas, what does it mean to understand a woman? Okay? Once we get to the root of that, a lot of questions can go, I guess, say, unanswered because we understand it. So basically, what I'm getting at is, let's take women, fellas. Now, which one is more emotional? Fellas are ladies more emotional, or ladies or fellas more emotional? I'll let y'all decide. Me, myself, I don't think neither one is more emotional. I think it's an even playing field. Now, I think us fellas, there's a lot of things we can't take that a woman can take, fellas. But at the same time, a woman, she can take it, but at the same time, she's not going to show you all her feelings. So that's something she going to keep sacred. Now, if she really care about you, love you, and understand you, she'll definitely do that. But let's just talk about this for a minute. I'm not gonna lie, this topic, I'm speaking for y'all. Okay, I'm speaking to y'all, speaking for both sides. Okay, so nobody's getting bashed on this thing tonight at all, because I don't bash women and I don't bash my fellas. Now, it's been times where I've seen it happen, and you know, and I just shake my head and like I wonder, like, yo, what was the big deal for this to get to that situation or that to get to this situation? You know, and we don't know what go on behind closed doors between people, but we gonna get to that. So, emotions. Fellas, we wear our emotions on our sleeve. You know, ladies, y'all can sometimes wear it on your sleeve, but y'all do a good job at hiding it. So let's just talk about this for a minute. Let's take a relationship, for example. Fellas, what's the one thing you want out of a lady? And lady, what's the one thing you want out of the fellas? Well, you got a lot of different opinions on that. One of the ones that I've seen, you know, over the course of my time is that the strong, independent woman, okay? And we got the fellas with the strong, independent fellas. So it comes to a thing where you see yourselves as, you know, you're strong, independent. You don't need that significant other. You don't need that other male or that other female in your life because you're doing well on your own. You know, and at that point, that's when I feel like the feelings come to clash, and, you know, those strong, independent people don't need, they may want. See, it's a difference between needing and wanting. So, with that being said, to the fellas, understand, when a woman cares about you and really loves you, you know, she shows it in ways unlike no other. Now, it could be a simple call, it could be a simple text, or it could be a simple thing to where she just lets you do you. You know, and when I say do you, ladies, don't jump down my neck. I mean, you just stay out of his space. Because most time, a strong, independent man, he's busy doing the same thing you're doing. You're busy grinding. You're busy trying to get to your goals, or you're busy just dealing with life, taking care of your responsibilities. You know what I mean? And that's something that gets crossed when a lot of us fellas, I'm talking about us now, we get this odd feeling in our head that, okay, she needs me. No, she doesn't need you. She wants you, because the same thing that you're saying she needs you for, she was doing before she got with you. She was doing before she met you. She's been doing it for a long time. Now, her emotions get involved, and I can honestly say that, hey, she may want you for certain things. Not your money, not, what you offer financially, but just time, or just you being there, or you not having to ask her what's wrong, automatically, if you've been around that lady that long, and she will open up to you. She probably won't come to you, but at the same time, if you start talking to her, the feelings will come out. So you can't sit up there and say this woman needs you. In reality, she really don't. She just wants you for your time. And that goes a long way, fellas. Respect and the love that you show in different ways without, having to go out and buy this or buy that, or thinking you can win her over with materialistic things. That's not how it works. It's really not. Fellas, listen to me. Listen to me closely. Be yourself. But at all times, if you're dealing with that strong, independent woman, you got to know when and how to give her space, to let her breathe. You can't breathe down her neck. You can't be, sitting back thinking, oh, she needs me. She can't make it without me. No. Yes, she can. She's lived on this earth long enough. She's strong. She's independent. She was raised that way. And somewhere along the way, either father, mother, brother, cousin, somebody taught her how to get it on her own. So what she's looking for you is just the time. She's looking for you just to let her be. She'll come to you. She'll give you what she wants by not even having to tell you. You can see it. Ladies, on the other end, it worked the same way for the fellas. But fellas, I'm going to be honest with us for a minute. Be honest with y'all. We're not built like them. The woman is the most precious thing on the earth. I'm just going to be honest with you. A woman do things that we can't. A woman go through things that we don't. A woman, I feel like, is God's precious gift. Number one, she can birth a child. Number two, she goes through something called a menstrual cycle once a month that we're not prepared for. Number three, she can handle anything emotional that comes her way. Number four, even if you're not there, she knows how to hold down the fort for not just you, but for those kids, for the family, and most importantly, for herself. You got to understand it. You got to understand a woman. You got to learn them in and out. Me, I don't know everything about them, but I'm pretty sure that my mother, rest in peace, Barbara Rooker, raised me to respect all women. And that comes with me watching a lot of things that she did, my aunts, my cousins, just watching all the women in my family just be strong and independent. My mama held down 2 jobs for the longest. Not saying my father wasn't there, but that was just her. She was a hustler. She knew how to get out of the mud. My grandmother on both sides of my family, strong, independent women, worked daily, did what they had to do. My cousins in my family, my girl cousins, if any of y'all watching this, y'all know, I haven't seen y'all depend on a man for nothing. Now, I have seen y'all want, and then I have seen y'all go misunderstood from the person you're dealing with. But that's because, fellas, we don't take the time. You don't take the time to get to know this woman. You got to. You can't put it like this. You can't rush into a relationship without knowing who you are rushing into the relationship with. Take the time, and by all means, man, I know a lot of us, men, we're attracted to women by the visual, the visual point. Not all of us, but most of us, let's be honest. But you may be attracted to them visually, but you have to get to know them in and out. You have to know, what makes them mad, what makes them happy, what makes them sad. Now, when you figure that out, fellas, figure that out about the woman, everything should go smoothly. But don't figure it out for a short period of time. Don't figure it out for like 2 months. You know this, period. You know this how she gonna be. So when you're getting to know this person, and by all means, man, if she's not what you want, leave her alone. Because you can't get into a relationship with somebody and then you think, okay, now that they're with me, they're gonna change. No. They respected you for what you did. So now you got to respect them for who they are. You can't expect them to just change and just, all of a sudden start catering to you. It doesn't work like that. But fellas, back to us. We can sometimes, I'm not gonna lie. A man needs a woman. I'm gonna say this, fellas, I hope you don't jump down my neck. A man needs a woman more than a woman needs a man. Oh, man, that took a lot saying that because I know y'all gonna jump on my head. Let me tell you why. To my fellas out there, no matter if you're single, in a relationship, married, or whatever you're doing, Okay, financially, you may not need that one. A lot of us are strong, independent. Now ladies, let me stop you. They may need you, but I'm talking to the fellas that don't right now. You know how to get out in the mud. You're a born hustler. You've seen your father do it. You've seen your uncles do it, your brothers, your cousins. So it's naturally, it's in you. You know how to go get it. You know how to get that bag. But unlike the woman, she can be a hustler, know how to get the bag and do everything, and still be at peace with herself. Fellas, it's not like that with us all the time. And I feel like when people say, I don't need a woman for this, I don't need a woman for yes, you do. But fellas, we get lonely. It's the truth. Now, this ain't nothing sexual, but fellas, we get lonely. I'm going to be 100 with you. Let me ask y'all something. Fellas, how many of y'all out there, get involved with someone? No matter, like I said, no matter if it's a relationship, whatever you're doing. But you go 2 or 3 days you go 2 or 3 days without hearing from them. How do you really feel? I'm gonna tell you, fellas, that's when you start talking to yourself. Like, yo, what's going on with this chick? What's going on with her? Why is she in it? And then make the one mistake that I think every fella done made. We call or we text and we say, what's wrong? And she hit you back with nothing. That tear you up because you be like, well, I ain't heard from you in such and such. I ain't heard from you in such and such. That means, be honest. She's not feeling what you're feeling. She's not feeling like she gotta hear from you, this, that, and the third or whatever. You feel that. You fellas, we need that compassion. We need that, how I want to say it, we need that reassurance. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, yo, she's still here. She's still rocking with me. And then when we go for a long period of time and we haven't heard from them, hey, that's when we be like, yo, something got to be wrong. Fellas, there's not nothing wrong. And I hope y'all listen to me because I'm giving you a guide to something. There's nothing wrong. She's letting you be the man you are. She's letting you get out there and chase that bag. She understands you got a lot going on. She don't want to crowd your space. She don't want to get in between what you got going on to make your money because she know at the end of the day, when she met you, this what it was about. Like somebody told me, a man that stays home 24/7, is not necessarily a breadwinner. He's not the one that's just bringing it in. Fellas, we're 9 to 5s. We're entrepreneurs. We're hustlers. We do anything we can to provide for our family as well as ourselves. So it's 24 hours in a day. We got to get to that bag every day because we got responsibility. Same thing with the independent lady. So I'm saying this to say that, fellas, give her space. She's there. Ladies, give Miss space. She's there. And to the strong, independent women and fellas that's out there, I want y'all to understand that you are the truth. You know how to get it regardless, and also hold down the fort, hold down the kids, and hold down the relationship. Y'all are beautiful people. Some of us haven't got to that point yet. Don't know if we will, but when we do, we got to understand what comes with the territory. No, simple as that. Now, I wish I had a lady on here to talk about this too. But at the same time, I felt like I need to talk to y'all. I hope y'all listen to this and then come back to me and actually want to come on and talk about this. Because we can get real deep with this because everybody's got opinions. What I'm giving y'all is my opinion. I'm not necessarily this right, I'm not necessarily saying this wrong. But this is what I've seen over my years, what I went through in my relationship, in my marriage, and what I see ladies I know go through. And fellas, oh Lord, I see it, ladies, y'all would trip out at some of the conversations the fellas have because we be panicking sometimes, and I'm like, bro, just let her be. She gonna come back to you. Then when I say that a day from now, bro, you was right, or such and such like that, I know I was right, because I got a feeling if the woman really cares about you and really love you, she's not gonna leave you out to hang and dry. Okay. Now, if it's early in the relationship, if you have been talking to somebody for 2 days, you gotta let that warm up. Nobody just fall in love with somebody at first. Okay, let's say this: love at first sight. How many of y'all believe in that? How many of y'all believe in that? When you say love at first sight, what does that really mean? Because I hear a lot of people say it, and I think it's just infatuation at first sight. You know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily think it's love. You don't find out you love somebody until you don't put that time in with them. You know what I mean? Now, a lot of us think we can love somebody, but then in reality, no, it was lust or something like that. But by all means, man, take the time to understand your mate. Take the time to understand your partner in and out. Because once you learn about them in and out, there shouldn't be no different, crazy conversations or going back and forth, this, that, and the third. Everything should be laid on the table and everything cool and fine. So my in 2 weeks, if any of y'all watching this, I want to do a podcast with, I'm going to be in the middle. I want a strong, independent man, and I want a strong, independent woman. And I want to talk about these situations because all I can give you is what I think of, or my opinion right now of the female and of the male. Cause and let's say something else. You can have the alpha male and the alpha female. I'm just gonna be honest. To the women out there, I mean, one thing I want to see we ain't gonna get into politics, but one thing I want to see a woman president. I want to see a woman rule the world. I just want to see, what we can learn and experience from you all's perspective by ruling a nation. You know what I mean? Because I think sometimes we think that's a male's job, In reality, it's coming to the point where we all can do the same things. And I always felt like that. You know what I'm saying? I always felt like, because I've seen women from my childhood, my family, you look at a handyman, you say, well, the handyman. Well, I've seen women torque wrenches, and I've seen women fix things better than a man can. I mean, and that's just what it is. And that's just the time you put in, that's the skills that you have. So it's basically skills you have. It's not necessarily a man's job or a woman's job. If you got skills, hey, that job can go to the person with the best skill, no matter if it's a man or a woman. Simple as that. But that's what I wanted to talk to y'all tonight about, man. And if y'all know anybody that you think would be a great participant for this specific subject, please let me know. Let's tap in. Let's talk about it, because let's get that understood first. And I feel like once we start, we got to start with baby steps. We're starting with the man and the woman, with the females and the males, and then we go into, the independency. Then we going from there. Then we branch off into this whole other world full of nothing but, I guess you could say, negative things that people talk about the male and the female. But once we come together and we get an understanding, I feel like everything else will flow thoroughly. You know what I mean? And that's what I wanted to talk to y'all tonight about, man. So fellas, don't get in an uproar. Ladies, don't get in an uproar. We got to come together, understand each other. And like I say, once you understand each other and you put in that time, you put in that work with each other, the rest is just going to fall. The rest is going to be easy. It's going to be, they talk about marriage. Some say marriage is hard. Some say marriage is easy. I'm going to be the first to say this. Marriage is a learning process. I put it like that. I'm not going to say it's hard. I'm not going to say it's easy. It's a learning process, because what you don't know is that even when you get married, or like if you're in a relationship, yeah, like I just stated, that person in and out. You know that, what makes them tick, what makes them talk, what makes them happy, and all this. But we're still individual people. So we still grow, and we're still growing, and we still have different emotions we build up with over time. And it's just one of those things that if you love that person, you can see where they're coming from, and you take the time with them, then you can see the new changes, and y'all can adapt to it. You sit down with them, you understand, okay, what's going on with this? Is this what you need to, is this what you need? Is this what you want from me? And don't be afraid to ask those questions. And don't be afraid if you get the answer that you don't want to hear. And that's just as simple as that, man, because, when you're growing as a person, number one, you're learning different things. You're seeing the good, the bad, the ugly. And you're seeing yourself in a different light. Now, by all means, don't think you're the only one that's seeing it, because somebody else is going through that too, male and female. And you also go through it when you're in these relationships. So when you're in a relationship with somebody and you see the changes, that's when you fall back, you adapt, and you ask your questions. You sit down and you don't make the other person feel like you're not pleased or happy with these changes. You get the understanding from them. You let them speak about it. Then you speak about it. And once y'all get it, man, it flows again. So like I say, marriage is a learning process. It's going to keep going. It's going to keep being a learning process. Relationships, whatever kind of relationship you're in with the other person or your significant other, you're going to learn things over time. It's not going to stay the same. And if you truly love them, genuinely, from the bottom of your heart, you can adjust to these things. Will it take a while for you to adjust? Maybe. And some people, it really don't take a while. They just understand everything and they go with the flow. But you got to give things time. You think you can know a person in and out, and then all of a sudden, this comes up. It don't mean when something new comes up, you back away from them, or you're not interested in them more. You take time to learn them. You give them what they want. And at the same time, you still show them that you're there for them and you care for them. And this is not no love doctor, coach, because I'm not the love doctor. This ain't Martin. But I feel like if we all take the time with each other, our significant others, we can make things grow. And we all not perfect. Every relationship has been through hard times. But it comes a time when you gotta look yourself in the mirror and understand that other person. And by all means, when it comes to women and the fellas, even though you're in a relationship, learn to love yourself first and understand that Your happiness is key. I want to get into something deeper, but I'm not going to do it tonight, but I'm going to leave y'all with this. If you're truly not happy with who you're with, and this is going to be a topic for the next conversation, you have to look yourself in the mirror and ask, what's the pros and cons? But first off, you got to look yourself in the mirror and be like, look, I love myself. I want my happiness. So don't be afraid to be like, okay, this ain't working. And if you guys truly sit down and you come to an agreement, because I've seen it every day. I've seen it in my family. I don't like the word divorce, breakup. I don't like none of that, because I feel like when two people come together, they can make it happen. But at the same time, it's time for you to hit the road. And a lot of us have been in those situations where we just stayed, I guess that say, and it cost a lot of us our happiness. I know a lot of fellas out there like that. I know a lot of women out there like that. But if it's truly not bringing you joy, then it's time for you to step on. You know what I mean? And last but not least, I'm going to say this. And this ain't got nothing to do with relationship. This has nothing to do with relationship. This is something that I learned from an early age. I hear people always say, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. But at the same time, you can't help who you love and who you have feelings for. That's a hard thing to do. Because once you develop feelings and you love somebody, it's hard for you to just kind of veer off and let them go. Now, you may let them go and do their things, but in your heart, you're always going to have that love for them. It's not going nowhere. You can't just remove love that you have for somebody. It doesn't work like that. That stays around, because if you truly love them, you find yourself thinking of them and all this and all that. That's love. It's there. There's nothing you can do about it. You can try to block it off. I've seen women and men try to block it off. Man, I don't care about her. I don't love her. But in the night you talk about it. So what they say? If you truly didn't care about love her, you wouldn't even bring her up, right? You wouldn't even bring him up, right? It wouldn't even be a topic of discussion. It wouldn't. It would be, okay, you don't care about love. Okay, let's go do whatever. Let's do whatever. But don't come back in the night talking about, whatever. And a lot of people say it'd be the alcohol talking when we be drinking this, but I've seen fellas do it without drinking. I've seen women do it without drinking. So I know it's true love in it. So with that being said, man, I just want y'all to listen what I said, take it in consideration, and just think about it tonight. And like I say, if you got somebody that you feel like want to come on and we have this conversation, let's do it. Let's make it happen. And that's just how it's going to be. Now, I can honestly say, man, I kept y'all up a little longer than expected, because I ain't expect for this to go this long. I really expected for it to be quick and out. But I know y'all got to get to work in the morning. I know y'all got to get on the grind. Trust me, y'all don't know how much I wish I had to go to work in the morning and just still feel productive. You know what I'm saying? But while I'm off, I'm giving this to y'all 24/7, because this is my passion. This is what I want to do. And with that being said, I just want to say, don't laugh at me how I get up. I get up on one foot. I want to say I love y'all. I salute y'all. And I see you when I see you. Peace.